Hi my friends, back again for another wee short video about our lives and the experiences of our life, because basically that's the only thing that we have in all the videos. I talk about the experiences because the rest is knowledge. It's worthless. Basically it was to me anyway. I was good at talking things that I'd read and studied and trying to impress other people with all this knowledge. Wasn't aware of my insecurities. But this wee talk today is about pain. To me it's our greatest teacher, and that's the title, is it Pain, our greatest teacher. I never heard anybody mentioning that, to use our pain. I'd always used the things that I'd learned. That was the only coping mechanisms I had, is the way I'd learned, referring back to worry and shame and guilt, remorse and regret and anger, basically based on blame. I was either blaming myself or somebody else for my pain. But the emotional pain was quite heavy, where you don't want to take your own, you want to take your own life, you don't want to live here anymore, you don't want to be here anymore. Nobody taught me I was responsible for that pain. I punished myself severely for a long time in my life, where the emotional pain came out in physical pain, where I ended up with all sorts of diseases and illnesses and cancers and Bell's palsy 7 times on both sides of my face, where professionals, consultants didn't know what causes Bell's palsy. They don't have a cure for it. But one day I went to a wee charity shop, found a book by Louise Hay, bless her, Heal Your Body, and it gave you the cause and the effect, and that's when I started working on it, which is over 25 years ago. And a day at a time it's been away. The same as I took responsibility for the things that was coming out of my mouth, the way I was speaking and the way I was thinking, which was causing the pain, either through what I'd said to somebody or what I didn't say or do. I always hurt and punished myself because I knew deep down I shouldn't be speaking to people the way I used to speak to them and behave, the way I used to behave, and that caused a lot of pain in my life. The worrying about not working, no income, the fear, because worry is based on fear, as we know, worrying about children when they're out playing, worrying that they're going to die. You've already pictured them, you've already got them dressed for a funeral and what you're going to do, and all they're doing is out playing. But my mind was telling me other things, that they were up to things that I used to get up to. They caused me a lot of worry, a lot of fear, and worrying about dying, worrying about getting old, not having any pension, nothing put by for my retirement, worrying what people thought about me. That pain was quite unbelievable, where I didn't know how to deal with it or how to even cope with it. I just ran away from it and blamed for any emotional pain. Worrying. The worry was the bit that really destroyed me, where I lost a lot of weight through worry. Panic attacks, anxiety, projecting into the future, not living in the present, not even practicing living in the present where there is no pain. I've experienced that now. All my emotional pain and physical pain through my own thinking was caused by going into the future or living in the past. 2 places I've learned not to go to because I have no power or control over any of them. But that pain, that emotional pain, in relationships, which I spoke about in another video, the fear was quite unbelievable, the hurt. Because of my own insecurities, and I didn't want to admit that I was insecure. That's one thing I didn't want to do, was admit that I was insecure. But I was. And the insecurity stemmed from what I'd learned within my home and environment. And this is a long time I've been doing this and looking at myself, and studied and accredited in all sorts of counselling approaches and therapeutical approaches, psychology, and as I mentioned in other videos, it meant nothing to me. My pain was my greatest teacher. It took me a long time to recognise the pain. It was my teacher. Every time I felt the horrible sensations and feelings in my body, it was due to the way I was thinking. But the habit of running with these thoughts on a daily basis and not recognising that I was causing the pain in my own body, the upset, the anger, falling out with myself, falling out with people, falling out with the universe. All because I couldn't recognise that I was responsible for this pain. I wasn't aware, because I'd learnt to blame, and I'd blamed for nearly 40 years of my life. And it's very difficult to admit that to ourselves and say, oh, hold on a wee minute here. Who else is responsible for my thinking? Who else is responsible for the way I behave and react to my own thinking and other people's thoughts and what comes out of their mouth? I'm not responsible for that. I'm responsible for how I react. And I always reacted in a negative way, with aggression, with hurt, with blame. And it takes a long time to be honest with myself. It took me a heck of a long time to admit to myself, this pain that you are feeling, you're responsible for. It's brought you to your knees. And ending up in hospital and institutions and clinics and still not knowing, nobody teaching you, then you need to change your thoughts. But how do you change something that you've been doing since you were 7 and 8 and you're in your 30s or 40s, late 20s? And it took for me to understand, to be humble myself and to admit to myself, I'm responsible for the pain. And when I admitted that I was responsible for this pain seemed to go away on a daily basis. And it was difficult because I'm breaking a habit here, a dirty habit, of self-inflicting this pain every day, worrying, stressed out, anxious, panicking, angry, aggressive, and never noticing the horrible pain that destroyed my body. And my stomach, I burnt all the lining in my stomach. I ended up with arthritis because of my habitual patterns of thoughts. Couldn't hold down a relationship, couldn't do anything because of this pain. Ended up on all sorts of medication, visiting the doctors constantly, and still not knowing that I was responsible for it, and crying and hurting and being suicidal and not wanting to be here because of the emotional pain, not wanting to take responsibility for it. Because how dare you have said that to me, you shouldn't have said that to me and I wouldn't have done that to you. That's me blaming. I blamed other people for how I felt because of what they said and done or what they didn't say or didn't do. I picked up anger, bitterness, blame. And the only reason I learned what I learned was because I had to get into a space of isolation where I ended up in the hospital for 16 days. And this is me thinking I'm a spiritual warrior, as I get called in Glasgow, and a guru. And I was lying in this hospital in tears with all these qualifications and not knowing that what I had read and what I had studied, nothing in my life, because it was only words that had taught me. When I'm sitting there in pain again in a hospital, nearly died through puncturing my bowel. And I believe it was grace. Someone said to me it was grace. It was then I saw that what I was responsible for. And through these 16 days I'd learned to be honest with myself and to look at myself and not stop to look at other people, because that's where the pain came from. I was looking continuously, revisiting what people had done to me and what they didn't do, what they were supposed to do. They'd let me down because I put expectations upon them that they should have done this and they should have done that. But the only evidence I had that they should have done that came from my sick mind. And I've learned today that all pain, every single bit of pain that I had in my life was mine. And that's why I was cased in that hospital bed, lying there, nearly died. And that's not the first time, it was a few times, but I never took the lesson because I was unaware of what I was responsible for. And it's difficult, my friends, maybe some people's listening and going, no, but they shouldn't have done that and they shouldn't have done that. But I shouldn't have reacted that way. It was me, I'm responsible for the pain. I can't blame any other human being for my emotional pain and physical pain. It came through my thinking. Where else does it come from? Nobody walks past you and throws all these negative thoughts at you or problems. They're created through my sick mind, the way I had learned to think. And if you're brought up in a dysfunctional home, and in a dysfunctional environment, what you've learned is detrimental to your future. And I've worked with loads and loads of people, and like me, they found it very difficult to admit that they were responsible for the pain. Where else does the pain come from? I knew when I was fit and healthy and very grateful, I had no pain. I was bursting with gratitude. So when I lost that gratitude, and I started looking at other people, places and things and situations from my past, and revisiting them continuously, being hurt and being angry when COVID came, where I couldn't work face to face with anybody. And that was another good place for me, because at the beginning of COVID I was isolated, we were all on our own. It gave me plenty of time to think and to work on myself as well. Although I've been doing that for 27 years, it's in my nature to work on myself now. Back then it was just in my nature to blame. But taking responsibility for all the pain, every bit of human interaction I have with people, I can't blame them anymore for what goes on in my body and what goes on in my mind. I'm doing the thoughts, I'm doing the feelings, I've got the emotions. The horrible sensations were caused by the way I was looking at myself and the way I was looking at other people. To change that, which I'll do in the next video, I'll get into the process of change, which might be a wee bit longer, because change is very difficult. Admitting responsibility for our own pain, which is caused by our thoughts, by what we see, what we hear, and what we tell ourselves, which I explained in another video. There's no other way that I know that pain comes from. Physically, yeah, people can hurt us, but spiritually and emotionally, I've done that myself. I damaged my body and my soul where I didn't want to be here. And I kept saying I can't, or in Glasgow we say I can't. I can't change, I don't know how to change. I was stuck, and people I went to were telling me, you have to do this and you have to do that, and what I'd studied was, you have to change your thoughts. Well, I know that. Everybody knows that. You change your thoughts, your circumstances change, your health changes, your personal relationships change. But pain stays the same unless you change the thought. That's fact. I think you know that. Someone I used to listen to over 20 years ago, who's passed away now, was Wayne Dyer, and he said, change your thoughts and your whole life will change. Your world changes how you see the world. I was angry with the world. I was angry and bitter towards the greed and the ignorance, which caused a lot of pain in my life. Seeing young children being abused, and adults, and people I've worked with, and I've worked with every crisis in life. Young children who have been tortured and abused, and adults, and male and female prostitutes at 12 and 13 years of age, working with people in prisons and institutions throughout the whole of Scotland my whole life, and listening to some powerful, horrible stories that people had done to other people. And that hurt until I learned to take responsibility for that hurt as well. But pain, see if we can use it, my friends, for the way it's meant to be used, for taking responsibility for any pain. You'll see it's the thinking, the way we're thinking, we're worrying, we're angry, we're blaming. It's causing pain and we don't seem to be doing anything about it because it's normal. The family do it, the friends do it. We sit and we watch the television and we blame people on the television. We blame the leaders of all our countries. We're blaming, and that's the way I was doing this every day, getting angry every day, blaming people every day, hurting every day, colluding with other people. Because I wasn't honest, I was frightened to speak my mind in front of other people, so I pleased other people rather than please myself. Then I went back home and I felt ashamed and guilty and felt like a coward that I couldn't speak my mind because I was frightened of being on my own, like we do as teenagers. We feel the peer pressure as a teenager, as a child at school. That peer pressure then turns into people pleasing as we get older. And I colluded and I let people control me to a certain extent. And then I would get angry with myself and then get angry with people. And I wasn't using that pain as my teacher. Today I use every bit of pain as a warning sign. I use my body as a thermometer. My body always warns me when my thoughts have went negative, and I focus on my body. Every time I feel that wee horrible sensation in my stomach, I challenge my negativity and catch it, and I practice from an hour, 45 minutes, half an hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, a minute, and then a moment, and practice catching it. If I practiced every day, I wouldn't have that pain. Nobody likes pain, but nobody wants to be responsible either. And that's the only way I know I've helped people and myself, is teaching people what we're responsible for, because nobody else teaches us in the house or at school, at college or university how to change, because change is the most difficult part. They'll tell us, go for a walk, jump in cold water, do this, do a bit of meditation. It's still there. The behaviours are there, and behaviours are still there. The habitual patterns of thoughts and how we react to these thoughts in other people are still there. We need to unlearn it with looking at ourselves and taking responsibility and say, okay, I've learned this, it's time to unlearn it. And you'll be free from pain. Believe me, you will be free. No illness, no disease, no nothing will come near you when we learn what we're responsible for, to take responsibility for the dirty, horrible thoughts that we have learned within our homes and our environments that have now become habitual, normal patterns of behaviour that's causing so much pain where we end up don't want to be here. So I'm hoping that you can take something from this wee short video, my friends, and take a look at the emotional pain. The loss of a loved one as well, the pain that I went through from that, not being able to let them go and holding on to that pain. When I let them go, I've learnt through meditations and things that I've done, through learning to quiet my mind, where no thoughts come in. When they do come in, they just go away again, because I don't feed them, I don't talk back to them, I don't have a conversation with them, with my head, or as academics call it, the ego. We know that thoughts are energy because they create horrible sensations in our body, and when we're having kind, loving thoughts, that energy changes to nice feelings, nice sensations. But when we're worried, angry, blaming, scared, I think everybody's experienced what I'm talking about here. In the work, angry with people in the work, frightened with people in the work. The people pleasing that I done in my workplace, because I wanted people to like me, was quite unbelievable. Caused a heck of a lot of pain when I went back home at night. And then you're right into the 30s after your dinner, you're starting to, where's the children, what are they up to? I wonder what they're up to, and you're sitting worrying and frightened. A heck of a lot of pain. No wonder I ended up with all sorts of diseases and illnesses in my body because of my thoughts. So I'm hoping and praying, my friends, that you can hopefully take something from this wee video, that we are responsible for the pain, and to use your pain as your greatest teacher, because it's teaching you so much about ourselves, that why we are allowing this pain to affect our lives and stop us from living, because that's what I've done, I stopped living. So I am very, very grateful for everybody who's listened in and watched, and I hope and pray that you can take something from them. I've got more videos I'm going to be putting up, because I'm going to share my whole experience of life and working for 27 years with people and studying and ripping up my qualifications and throwing them in the bin, because they didn't teach me much at all, believe me, they only taught me words. But I'm hoping that you can take something from it today, that use your pain, my friends, use the pain as your teacher, because nobody throws pain at us, be creative. So I'm very, very grateful for listening in. Namaste, my friends, and we'll speak soon. Bless you all. Thank you kindly. Thank you.